The takeover of Rangers is just around the corner, and fans couldn't be more welcoming of it. A disappointing season, to say the least, has left the Ibrox crowd begging for change and accountability. Seeing 49ers Enterprises and Andrew Kavanagh come in could bring exactly that. However, in today's video, we have the latest takeover news to share, and a huge twist has emerged in the deal. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Barry Ferguson still loves being the interim Rangers boss, according to Peter Lovenkrands. The 47-year-old took caretaker charge at Ibrox following Philippe Clermont's departure at the end of February. Although Ferguson guided Rangers into the quarter-finals of the Europa League and secured a memorable 3-2 victory over Celtic at Parkhead, he has yet to win a home game at the helm. Lovenkrands, though, thinks his old teammate has carried out an adequate job given the circumstances. "I think he's come in during a tough situation," said the Dane. "He's inherited a team that's not been up to scratch. You can see that. That's being honest. There are players that are probably not good enough, and they need to change. I think under the circumstances, he's done okay. I think in Europe, he's had some fantastic performances, and even against Celtic as well. But of course, domestically against the smaller teams, that's been the one that's been Achilles' heel and been tough. It seems to be that they're going behind more times than normal, and then have to fight themselves back. That's not normally what you see from Rangers, but I think Barry's been dealt a tough hand, and I think he's handled the pressure well. I've spoken to him, and he still seems like he's loving it. I know him from playing with him, of course. I know what character he's like, and I know he's strong. His mentality is strong, and in his head, he's thinking about what to change. But it's all going to be if he's going to get the nod in the end. If the ownership happens, do they have their own men? We don't know. So we just need to see what's going to happen. But I think under the circumstances, I don't think anybody could have done a better job. Rangers welcome Aberdeen to Ibrox this Sunday as Ferguson looks to secure his first home win in charge. Now in a huge 49ers takeover twist, in a striking revelation, former Rangers chairman Dave King has confirmed that Saudi investors expressed interest in acquiring Rangers Football Club prior to the emergence of the 49ers Enterprises, and Andrew Kavanagh as the leading takeover contenders. Speaking with TalkSport, the businessman disclosed that he actively sought out heavyweight investors to close what he saw as a widening financial and competitive gap following the club's historic 55th League title. For King, the scale of the challenge required not just ambition, but substantial financial muscle, and he looked far beyond Scotland to find it. "I started a project at that time to see if I could try and find someone who I could bring in who was substantial," King explained. "Someone who could take the club forward and not only had a football plan, but with a financial plan behind it as well. Someone with deeper pockets, someone with sustainability in terms of funding. I was talking to the Saudis at that time." The talks with Saudi parties highlighted the scale of King's ambitions and the international interest Rangers still commands. However, the trajectory shifted when King received a call in October from former director Paul Murray. That conversation introduced King to Andrew Kavanagh, who, alongside 49ers Enterprises, would soon become central to the unfolding takeover effort. Paul said, "Look, Dave, I'm aware you're trying to find investors. I've got these guys and I think they're the real deal," King recalled. He then put me in touch with Andrew. We chatted, had a couple of initial meetings, and then I asked him the one question that often causes deals like this to fall apart. "Can you give me proof of funds?" It was a critical moment. King insisted that before he engaged fellow shareholders and board members, he needed concrete evidence, not just of the means to buy out existing shareholders, but of the financial firepower to inject new capital into the club. It was only after they satisfied me through their bankers. I'm not going to disclose the figure, but the amount of money was very, very substantial. It was what I believed was needed, not just to get the deal done, but to fund the club for the next 2 years and bridge the gap between us and our competition. With proof of funds secured, serious negotiations began, and the path toward a 49ers-led era at Ibrox started to take shape. Now, with the legal framework of the deal nearing completion, approximately 90% finalized according to King, the transition of power appears imminent. Although a May completion is off the table, King believes the takeover will realistically be finalized by mid-June. There are still a few things to be done, he noted. Approvals from various leagues, the SFA, the SPFL, some conditions still need to be met. But if all goes to plan, mid-June is realistic. That timing, however, presents challenges. With Champions League qualifiers fast approaching, the new regime, if in place by then, will need to move swiftly to reinforce the squad and stabilize leadership. They'll have to hit the ground running quite quickly, King warned. Let's say this deal happens mid-June. That doesn't give them a lot of time to start and get some business done and prepare us for Champions League qualifiers. As for managerial appointments or transfer targets, King admitted he has no insight into those plans. But the former chairman's focus has been on facilitating a sustainable, ambitious future for Rangers, one he believes is now within reach, even if the path initially stretched as far as the Middle East. In other news, Pat Nevin has suggested that Billy Gilmour could return to Rangers amid his lack of consistent minutes at Napoli. The midfielder joined the Scudetto hopefuls at the beginning of the season and has gone on to feature in 25 of their 38 matches this term. Gilmour has completed just 5 full 90s for his side in 2024-25, and Nevin, who turned out for the likes of Chelsea, Everton, Tranmere, Kilmarnock and Motherwell, thinks the Scot has a decision to make. In reality, there are two ways of looking at it, he said. Accept that you are going to be one of those players who play half of the games every season. So you've got two choices. Choice number one is accept that's your career, that's your life, that's what happens. You are going to play with some great clubs, win some trophies, people are going to love you, and you are going to play until you're 40 because you're going to be relaxed, and that's a good career for Billy. The other possibility, I wonder if Celtic and Rangers need a controlling creative player. It is that one where, if he comes up to Celtic or Rangers, he takes over from Callum McGregor or becomes the new Barry Ferguson. That's it. I'm not sure where else with Billy. That sounds like a weird choice, but I actually think that's the choice that Billy has got now. For some people, I don't know what it would be. For me, I want to play football. I would just go wherever I could play, because I love playing football. But I don't know what Billy will think. Whatever he thinks, I would back him on it. I would just say the most important thing, as long as you are available for Scotland, mate, I don't care. Gilmour initially came through at Rangers and trained with their first team before departing for Chelsea in 2017. A boyhood fan of the club, it remains to be seen if he will ever make a senior appearance in light blue. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.